Thank you, Ardis, for the very kind introduction. And by the way, thank you for everything you've done for Element 451 and for higher education. Another round of applause, please. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Engage Summit. I believe that this could be one of the most transformative events that you'll participate in this year about AI and the future of higher education. I'm thrilled to be here, surrounded by forward-thinking leaders, all of you, who understand that we're standing at an inflection point in education history. Now, picture the first thing many of us did this morning after waking up. For many of us, it was tapping on a small glass rectangle in a small handheld device that right now holds more computing power that NASA had when they put the first humans on the moon. Imagine that. In 2 decades, smartphones have moved from novelty to necessity. And now, generative AI is moving even faster, putting not only information, but intelligence at our fingertips. My goal today is to cut through the noise and talk about the evolution of AI, a journey that is leading straight into a world where AI is not just a tool, but a teammate. My name is Kosmas Karadimitriou, and as Ardis said, I have spent 25 years building and shipping AI and machine learning systems. I watched these technologies grow and mature. Now, my role at PSG, which is an investment company that, by the way, has invested in Element 451, we really believe in the mission of the company and in the future. So my role in PSG is to lead the AI tech initiatives in all our portfolio companies and to help also Element 451. Although, frankly, I didn't need to help them much. They're doing really, really well with AI. I did my part in productizing and building intelligent systems in various domains, from travel tech to space tech to water tech, e-commerce, and of course, ed tech. Education has always been near and dear to my heart. I come from a family of educators, both of my parents. My wife is a college professor. All my kids are in higher education, earning their postgraduate degrees right now. And I've spent 22 years in total in education, 10 of which were in higher ed. So this is AI, the intersection of AI and higher education is a topic that I'm very excited about, and I think about it a lot. Today's presentation will be centered around the concept of AI as a teammate. In this new world, AI handles the analytical heavy lifting, information retrieval, even reasoning, whereas humans are free to focus on creativity, empathy, strategic thinking, and the deeply human work of education. We're moving now beyond the question of what AI can do to what can we accomplish together with AI. But first, I'll start with the history of AI. How did we get to this point? And we'll go very far back in time. The desire for artificial companions isn't new. It's fundamentally human. It starts actually in ancient Greece, where in Greek mythology, the Greek god of fire and forge, Hephaestus, was crafting robotic assistants to help him in his workshop. That was in mythology. By 400 BCE, these myths started manifesting in reality. Archytas, one ancient Greek engineer, maybe the first engineer, created an artificial dove that could fly independently, perhaps the first robot ever, 400 BCE. The Antikythera mechanism was around that same time period and was perhaps the first computer ever constructed. Although it wasn't to make computation, it was more about the alignment of planets and stars. But it was an extremely complicated mechanism. Now, fast forward to Renaissance, Leonardo da Vinci, 15 centuries later, he sketched mechanical knights. And if you go together today to Italy and Florence, for example, you will see these recreations. Now, moving to the 20th century, In 1943, McCulloch and Pitts proposed artificial neural networks. And this was a revolutionary concept that laid the mathematical foundation for everything we're discussing today. And this was the idea of creating artificial neurons imitating what human brain has, but creating in the computer, and let the computer reason through them. In 1956, it's the year of the official birth of AI, when John McCarthy from MIT coined the term artificial intelligence at the Dartmouth workshop. In that workshop, there were several scientists, and they were discussing about the concept of AI, and they thought that it was something they could solve or they could put in production by that summer, after a few months. Well, they were only off by about 70 years or so. In 1966, the first practical breakthrough came with ELIZA. Again, in MIT, one of the researchers created this program, that it was essentially the first chatbot that could simulate conversation. Now, it was very simplistic. You ask it a question, and it kind of rephrases and asks you back another question, but it gave the illusion that it could carry a conversation. And people were excited about that because they imagined all the possibilities. Moving forward, in 1970s, unfortunately, the so-called AI winter came because there were not real advances in AI and funding dried up. Many researchers left the field, and AI became synonymous with overhyped disappointment. Progress requires not just algorithmic breakthroughs, but complementary advances in computing power, data availability, and practical application methods. But in the 1980s, researchers created the expert systems, so-called, which capture and scaled human expertise. These were basically databases of hundreds, thousands, even they tried with millions of rules, human rules, if this, then that they proved to be quite successful, actually, and quite useful. And funding started flowing back into the AI world. That's why it's called AI Spring. By 1991, web appeared and transformed everything and provided unprecedented access to human knowledge and data, lots and lots of data. In 1977, Deep Blue by IBM defeated the chess champion, Garry Kasparov, through raw computational power. IBM had created this supercomputer that had this amazing computing power. So now we reached the point that AI had both data, because of the web, and sufficient computing power. So, in 2000, early 2000, the first real applications of AI appeared. In DARPA competition, which was autonomous driving for 100 kilometers in the desert, 5 vehicles completed it successfully. And this proved that AI could handle dynamic, unpredictable environments requiring real-time decision-making. In 2011, IBM Watson won in Jeopardy, won over humans. And unlike chess, Jeopardy requires understanding of human language, cultural references, wordplay, and have vast general knowledge. So it was a great advancement. In 2012, deep learning appeared as technology, and this was a breakthrough because this represented a fundamental shift from programmed intelligence to learned intelligence. The system developed its own understanding through experience, much like humans do, human learning. More recent breakthroughs, now they started coming faster and faster because we had now the data, the computing power, and so on. So in 2016, Google created AlphaGo, which was a program, an AI program, that defeated the Go Grandmaster. Now, Go, if you don't know about it, it's a game, but it's a lot more difficult than chess. It needs strategic thinking. And many researchers thought that it was impossible for computers to win in Go. And yet, AI did it, doing creative moves. In 2020, the first Waymo taxis appeared. And these were fully autonomous taxi services, first in Phoenix, and now they're in various cities. Actually, we used one in Los Angeles a few weeks ago. It was a very cool experience. If you've never been to a Waymo, I highly recommend it. You will feel what it is to be in a world surrounded by AI. So this proved that AI could handle pretty much life and death decisions, because when you're moving into a vehicle with high speed, sometimes it is a life and death decision. In real world conditions, managing countless variables. And currently, Waymo vehicles have about 10 times less accidents than humans do. In other words, you are 10 times safer being in a Waymo than being in a car or in someone else's car, a human driver. In 2022, we've all been there. We saw ChatGPT appearing. And this demonstrated human-like reasoning, creativity, and problem solving across virtually every domain of knowledge. This accessibility that ChatGPT provided us transformed AI from an elite research tool into a collaborative partner for everyone. Now, this was the history of AI. How did we get to this point? I want to talk now about the current state, where AI is, and then I will focus on the future. So, the current state. Well, 10 years ago, AI couldn't recognize cats in images. It couldn't tell that this is a cat and this is a dog. Today, AI systems routinely outperform humans in visual analysis. For example, looking at an X-ray or an MRI and producing diagnoses that rival or are better than human doctors. It's been a huge progress in just 10 years, which shows that AI actually is growing faster than the average human. It currently achieves over 94% in the SAT exam. And this was with GPT-4. This was a year ago. Every few months, AI is progressing faster. I wouldn't be surprised if today is at 99% percentile. That means 99, it performs better than 99% of humans in terms of intellectual exams. AlphaFold exemplified this exponential progress. AlphaFold was a tool, an AI tool, that researchers use to predict protein structures. And this, pre-AI, determining a single protein structure required months or years of painstaking laboratory work. AlphaFold can now predict structures in seconds with remarkable accuracy. ChatGPT had exponential growth. Right now, they are actually a couple of months ago, that was in March, they were in 500 million users, right? Right now, they are probably 700, 800, and by the end of the year, they expect to have 1 billion users. That's incredible progress for a product that was created just a couple of years ago. So what does this all mean? Look into the past to understand the future. This exponential pace means that AI capabilities we consider cutting edge today will seem routine within just months. Very fast progress. I'll give you some metrics and some indication of where AI stands today. For example, in law, and this is all from exams, different exams, academic excellence of AI. In law, AI passes the bar exam scoring over 90%, right? In medicine, it scores over 80%. And this is interesting about the medical licensing exam because it requires doctors to not only have no factual info and knowledge, but being able to do diagnostic reasoning, show empathy. A lot of questions are about showing empathy. Decide about treatment planning and understanding of human physiology. It's remarkable and very impressive that AI can score 80%. That means at 80% of human doctors do worse than AI, or AI does better than them. So it's an incredible fact. In academics, right now on GRE, AI gets perfect scores, near perfect scores. And not only that, but it can explain its reasoning process and even show multiple solution approaches. In science, AI helped MIT researchers to discover a new antibiotic. Now, what is interesting is that to do that, it needed to scan and analyze 100 million chemical compounds. Now, traditional drug discovery methods would require decades to screen this many possibilities. AI accomplished this analysis in a few weeks. Imagine what possibilities this opens up for the world. Yet, I should mention that human expertise remained crucial. Scientists designed these experiments, interpreted the results, and guided the discovery process. So AI helped, but it didn't replace scientists. And this is a main idea, a main message that I want to pass today, that AI can act as a co-pilot, as a teammate, but it won't replace us. So remember this as we're going through the slides. In the creative world, current state of AI again, AI creative achievements challenge our assumption about the nature of creativity itself. Google announced an AI video product that would create videos, VO3. This creates incredible videos. And these are not crude animations. They are sophisticated productions that rival professional filmmaking. They can even introduce dialogue, natural sounding dialogue. If you see a video created by VO3, you will not know that it is AI created. It seems so real. In the game of diplomacy, this is an online game, in which AI right now achieves more than double the human scores. And unlike chess or Go, that we talked earlier, diplomacy success depends on understanding human psychology, building trust, and managing complex social dynamics and negotiations. So it's remarkable that AI can achieve double the human score on that. This is an example where AI shows social intelligence and creativity. And finally, another example about the creativity. Facebook AI they ran a test in which they had two chatbots communicate with each other to solve a problem. And even though they started communicating in English, suddenly they designed and they switched to their own language because it was more efficient to talk to each other much faster rather than using English. So this was an emergent ability. Nobody programmed that. An emergent ability of AI, and it demonstrates AI's capacity for innovation and adaptation beyond what it has been programmed, beyond the programmed parameters. Now, this was the current state. I want to talk about the future. And the future is we're at the dawn of AI teammates. This is the world that we're going in. These AI teammates would proactively participate in achieving shared goals with us, with humans. AI teammates can multiply our human intelligence. And I'll give you some specific examples. But first, let's define what is the AI teammate. A few years ago, when ChatGPT appeared, it was a simple chatbot, question and answer. You ask it a question, it gives you back an answer. That's it. After that, the next level was the copilots, which was assistive intelligence. These were sophisticated tools that made humans more efficient and effective, but still they remained fundamentally passive until they were activated. But they were working along with humans, copilots. Then AI agents appeared, which Element 451 uses a lot. And this represents the concept of autonomous intelligence. But still, AI agents operate within narrow boundaries that lack broader contextual understanding. They do one task, they do it independently, yes, they have autonomy, but still they are quite narrow. The next level in evolution is the AI teammates that represent collaborative intelligence. This is where AI understands our goals and works together with humans to achieve those goals without being explicitly told or programmed what tasks to do. We just give it a goal and we'll say, go, achieve this goal. And it does it alongside with us and it becomes part of the team. So, collaborative intelligence, this is a key word here. But why? Why do we need collaborative intelligence? We had co-pilots, well, okay, here is some of the benefits. First of all, it frees human time. For example, let's talk about higher education. Admissions staff spends countless hours processing application. Faculty devotes weekends to grading. And advisors answer the same questions again and again repeatedly. AI would help them not doing less work, but doing more valuable work. And I'll give you specific examples. So this is one, free human time. The second is to accelerate productivity. Teams working with AI teammates complete projects faster and achieve better outcomes. Collaborative intelligence augments human capabilities. This won't replace human judgment, but it would inform better decision-making, human decision-making. And finally, it can amplify creativity. Because when AI manages the groundwork, humans are more free and have more time to innovate. Let's look at a study now. This was done by Harvard Business School, Wharton and Procter & Gamble, in which they asked 776 professionals to develop some product ideas. They separated into teams, multiple teams. Some teams included AI, an AI teammate, whereas others, it was only humans. The solution quality that came from teams that included AI as a teammate was much better than human-only teams, significantly better, statistically significantly better, and the time savings were also reached impressive levels. So, teams with AI not only produced faster, but also better results using the AI as a teammate. But even more interestingly, teams with AI reported more positive emotions and less negative emotions. And that makes you think, how is that possible? But if you think about it, maybe it's not that surprising, because when is the last time that ChatGPT conflicted with you, right? Or insulted you? Well, never. This AI is designed to be positive and to help you and not come in conflict with you. So it's not surprising, actually, that having an AI in the team as a teammate leads to better dynamics, better group dynamics. So people are happier, actually. Another interesting idea that comes out of these studies is that silos are breaking down when AI is included into the mix. Without AI assistance, professionals remain trapped in their functional specializations. That means that an engineer can only do engineering. Someone who is in marketing can only perform in marketing. However, AI teammates can transform the dynamic by serving as universal translators between disciplines. So engineers now can contribute to marketing because they can have AI to ask and get expertise. Salespeople can easily create application prototypes using AI. So AI can explain concepts to them and help all employees communicate across functions and teams. Everybody is communicating better, and the entire organization becomes more integrated and effective. But perhaps the most transformative aspect of AI is its ability to democratize expertise. Advanced capabilities are now accessible to individuals regardless of their experience level or institutional resources. AI serves as an expertise equalizer. And there's an interesting observation here that generalists win in this new world. Because as a generalist, if you have a high-level idea and concepts about any discipline or function, you can use AI to go very deep, and that's all you need. So it's more important to be a generalist moving forward than be a specialist. AI will provide the specialization and expertise that is needed. Now, this creates an imperative for a new thinking. That means that for knowledge workers, they need to learn how to use AI effectively. and they can offload repetitive tasks to AI teammates. But also, they can use AI as a coach, as a personalized coach, to help them improve. For managers and leaders, on the other hand, they need to figure out ways to integrate AI into team structures. With AI, they can address talent gaps in their teams, and they need to work to find ways to adapt to this hybrid human-AI collaboration. There are, however, some limitations that we need to acknowledge about AI, at least right now. One is there are physical work challenges. AI is just a computer program. It doesn't have a body, so it doesn't understand the physical 3D world. That means that it's difficult to develop solutions in unpredictable environments that require complex motor skills. So this is one limitation we need to remember. The other limitation is that it lacks a moral core, ethical judgment, or moral compass that humans have. It's innate in humans. So because of that, it always requires human oversight to make sure that it does well on ethically complex decisions. We need to remember that. And finally, another limitation is that it depends on data, and we need to make sure that we provide good, clean, unbiased data to train the AI systems. Otherwise, it leads to a garbage in, garbage out situation. And there is a strong dependency on data right now. So despite all this, right now we see an exponential growth in AI, despite all these challenges. And this adoption of technology, it took us for, like I said earlier, we will have almost 1 billion of AI users by the end of this year, we expect. Incredible fast progress. One of the perhaps the fastest technology adoption ever in the history of the world. Now, what are some benefits of AI integration? And this is not only in education, by the way. I'll talk shortly, I'll focus on education, but this is in general in all industries. So this data comes from across all domains. 32% of CEOs report revenue growth by using generative AI. 34% report increased profitability. That comes not only that when AI enables organization to create more products, but also deliver higher quality services, make better strategic decisions, and innovate more rapidly. Accenture data, the big consulting firm, revealed that AI leaders achieve 2.4 times greater productivity compared to AI laggards. But these benefits aren't automatic. They require thoughtful implementation, change management, and ongoing optimization. All right, now let's switch to talk about AI in higher education and how it can help in this domain. First of all, there are many administrative efficiency improvements that streamline back office operations. It can help with better student engagement. And in admissions, there are enhancements that can lead to more effective recruitment of students. And I'll talk about each one of these now. Starting at the back office in finance, educational institutions manage complex financial ecosystems involving multiple revenue streams, regulatory requirements, and stakeholder needs. AI can generate multiple scenarios within seconds, modeling various enrollment projections, funding changes, and economic conditions that would otherwise require weeks of human analysis. AI can do it in seconds. This better budget forecasting can lead to better strategic decision-making. In revenue optimization or resource optimization, AI systems can analyze spending patterns, outcome correlations, and efficiency metrics across departments to identify opportunities for potential reallocation, so more strategic resource deployment. For fraud detection, AI can analyze transaction patterns, vendor relationships, and approval workflows, and can identify anomalies that might indicate fraudulent activity. again, on the back office, on the administrative side, on HR. In recruitment, AI can identify top candidates while reducing unconscious bias. We humans tend to have many biases when we're looking at data, or applications in this case. It can be the recency bias, anchoring bias, halo effect, confirmation bias, in-group bias, projection bias, and so on. We're full of biases. AI, when it is trained correctly, it doesn't have such biases, and it will produce the same outcome, the same ranking of candidates every time. Whereas with humans, if someone didn't have their coffee in the morning, may be giving a different ranking. Or between humans, you may get different rankings. So this is for recruitment. For retention analysis, AI can use predictive models to flag people at risk of leaving if they're not doing very well in their job. So AI can flag those, and so administrators can intervene. For benefits administration, AI provides, and computing in general, computer systems, provide automated systems streamline benefits and payroll. And finally, AI can provide chatbots that would answer any HR questions, common questions, 24/7. So staying again on the back office, compliance. Compliance management is a difficult task that involves navigating complex regulatory environments, accreditation requirements, and institutional policies. AI can provide monitoring that ensure that institutions stay current with regulatory changes that might otherwise be overlooked until a compliance audit reveals problems, and nobody wants that. RPA in process automation, RPA stands for Robotic Process Automation, and this automation reduces errors, ensures consistent policy application, and provides a comprehensive audit trail for everything. In risk assessment, AI can identify potential compliance vulnerabilities before they become violations. And finally, AI can help with form completion by reducing completion time from hours to minutes, while ensuring accuracy and completeness. Now, moving on to personalized student engagement through AI chatbots. AI chatbots, like I just mentioned, they are available 24/7, and they can provide instant responses to common questions that many students have. They can also proactively remind students of deadlines, which is, I think, important for younger people. And it can seamlessly hand off to human advisors as needed if it cannot answer some questions on its own. And there are some proven results from that. I'm sure all of you have your own experiences with Element system. But I have these results from Georgia State. They tested a chatbot like this, and that chatbot reduced summer melt by 22%. Summer melt is admitted students who don't actually enroll into college, and during the summer they change their mind. So this was reduced by 22%. And that AI chatbot could answer 200 to 300 of the common questions that students had. And most importantly, 94% of the students, when they were asked about it, recommended the chatbot. They liked it. In admissions, in outreach, AI helps with predictive targeting. It can analyze demographic data, academic performance indicators, extracurricular involvement, and institutional fit factors to target the specific students that are more likely to accept. It can do personalized marketing. It can create and send tailored marketing materials that resonate with specific audiences. There are recruitment chatbots that provide multiple touch points to maintain engagement, and this is automatic. No human needs to remember, I need to send an email or I need to call that. AI takes care of that. And it can also guide students through preliminary application steps. And finally, with application reminders, AI can send personalized reminders about missing materials and deadlines. And again, we're talking about 17, 18 years old. They are not always great with deadlines, and I know that having raised 3 children. So this is an important aspect of using AI. In admissions now, it can optimize after an admission has been said. It can target outreach that focuses resources on candidates that are most likely to accept these admission offers. It can match students with appropriate mentors, faculty, or other current students that can create personal connections that influence their enrollment decisions. It can optimize the financial aid effectiveness. But, however, we need to always monitor for algorithmic bias to ensure that these AI systems don't perpetuate or even amplify existing inequities. So this is, again, another point where human oversight is crucial, and it can ensure that AI recommendations align with institutional values and goals. And this is another example where AI and humans need to collaborate closely to achieve the desired outcome. In learning, this is perhaps the most transformative application of AI because it can adapt to individual learning styles and it can provide optimal pacing. So, when students master concepts quickly, the system would provide more challenging materials and advanced applications. But when students struggle, it can offer additional explanations or alternative approaches. It adapts. And unlike delayed feedback in traditional courses, AI tutoring systems can respond immediately. So this combination of personalized assessment, adaptive content, and immediate feedback creates learning experiences that rival the best human tutoring, and they are available, again, 24/7. And this democratizes access to high-quality, individualized instruction that was previously available only to privileged few. For faculty, how AI can help faculty? Well, AI can handle routine preparation, assessment, and administrative tasks that traditionally would consume enormous amounts of instructor time. It can create comprehensive instructional materials that align with pedagogical goals. Grade Assistant can extend beyond simple multiple choice scoring to provide meaningful feedback on complex assignments. For content creation, AI can generate slides, multiple versions of problems, and scenario-based applications or examples. For monitoring student progress, AI can alert faculty about students who show declining participation, missed assignments, or comprehension difficulties, so they can intervene, the faculty can intervene. In lifelong and distance learning, AI can provide scalable instruction. In an AI-driven learning system, whether it is one person that participates or 1 million people, it doesn't make any difference. So it is very scalable to unlimited number of students. It can facilitate discussions by moderating forums, suggesting discussion topics, and connecting students with similar interests. It can provide career coaching because AI systems can analyze an individual's career goals, current skills, what are the market demands, and their learning progress, and guide them appropriately. And finally, it's again the concept of 24/7 learning support. And this is very important for lifelong learning. This is the non-traditional students that have day jobs, and they are only available after hours, not in the 9 to 5 day. So it is very important that they have these resources available to them 24/7. Now let's talk about the student use of AI, how students use AI currently. This is according to a survey done a few months ago. 69% of students use it to search for information. Essentially, AI has replaced Google, and it has become their primary research tool. 33% they use it to summarize documents. And this capability can enhance learning efficiency, but also warning here, It may also reduce deep reading and critical analysis skills. So we need to be careful there. Many students use it to create the first draft, a quarter of them, and it helps them overcome very often what is called the writer's block. Many of them, 42%, almost half, use it to check their grammar, which is fine, and particularly valuable for those who don't have English as their first language. And most of them, 86%, they use AI in one way or another. And that indicates that AI now has moved from an experimental novelty to a standard academic tool. Now, what is the evolving role of educators in this new world? First of all, educators need to focus on inspiration and mentorship. Faculty should focus on motivating students, sharing passion for their disciplines, providing career guidance, and serving as role models for intellectual curiosity and lifelong learning. AI cannot be a role model. A human faculty can be a role model. Critical thinking. Students need guidance in evaluating AI outputs, question assumptions, to recognize bias, and develop independent reasoning capabilities. So educators must help students to understand when to trust AI recommendations and when to challenge them. In social learning, building learning communities where students learn from each other through discussion, debate, and shared exploration. Again, this is something that educators need to do. And finally, with AI tools integration, educators must understand the AI capabilities and limitations and model appropriate use and help students develop AI literacy skills. This is the current state of AI in higher ed, the adoption. In 2023, about half, 50% of the institutions were using AI in one way or another. In 2024, this shot up to 84%, and we expect that by next year, it's going to be virtually everyone. We have 93% here. These are the projections, because we expect that there's going to be about 7% of highly specialized institutions with unique constraints or philosophical objections to AI use, whether it's military or whatnot. But most of the others would use AI. This is the market growth, some numbers that indicate the market growth in AI in education. Currently, it's almost $6 billion, and this represents money that are spent in investment in AI in education, but also in budgets in different schools. So that's a lot of money. But more importantly, there is over 30% expected or measured annual growth of AI. And this is actually faster than other domains, which shows how important AI is in education. Okay. But let's also talk about some effectiveness indicators. There is a lot of growth, but what does it mean? And how does it lead to better outcomes? And how do we measure that, right? So these are three indicators that we can talk about. One is admissions efficiency. Does AI screening boost application processing? Does it enable faster? And does it enable better decisions and admissions? Does it bring better students, better fitted students to the institution? What about student success? Does AI reduce, for example, summer melt? Does it lead to happier students? And are there higher projected graduation rates? Okay, that's another way to measure the outcomes. And of course, in learning, AI tutoring systems are supposed to help students learn faster. Does it do that? It provides personalized feedback, personalized pacing. We need to measure how this affects learning and if it really leads to better learning outcomes. So these are some indicators. Now, in education, there are some concerns and barriers, and I'd like to talk a little bit about that. In several institutions, they cite implementation cost as a concern and barrier, but I believe that moving forward, once AI becomes a must-have, they need to figure out a way to include it into their budget. Several others, 42%, they're concerned about job displacement. But I hope I gave you the message that AI will not replace us, right? It's a tool that we can use to do our jobs better. Like the saying goes, AI will not take your job, but someone who is using AI might take your job. So we need to be using AI. There is algorithmic bias, and we need to be careful, at least those who build AI systems need to be careful that AI doesn't perpetuate or amplify existing inequalities. There is data privacy concerns because of sensitive educational records. However, there are other domains, for example, in healthcare, that these problems have been solved. So we can use similar technologies to solve it in education as well. And finally, academic integrity is a big concern. And there is an ongoing discussion about this. This requires institutional policies, and we all need to have discussions of how to appropriately use AI. So this is an ongoing discussion about that. All right, so how to integrate AI in higher ed? There is 4 steps here. One is to develop strategy. That involves creating institutional AI visions that span teaching, research, and administration. It requires resource allocation, timeline development, success metrics, and coordination across departments. The second is educations need to foster AI literacy. Faculty, staff, and students need to develop the competencies to evaluate AI tools critically and to use them effectively. We need to champion ethics. We need guidelines that protect student privacy, ensure equitable access, and maintain academic integrity. And finally, we need to evolve pedagogy by leveraging AI capabilities while preserving and the critical thinking development and creative exploration. So let's give it some historical perspective here. Printing press didn't eliminate scholars. It democratized knowledge and enabled greater intellectual exploration. Telephone didn't replace human communication. It expanded our ability to connect across distances. Computers didn't eliminate human workers. They automated routine calculations while enabling more complex analysis and creative applications. Moving up the value chain, in education, faculty needs to do less grading and it can do more mentoring through AI. Advisors can do less data crunching and can provide more guidance and relationship building. Staff can use automated reporting to do the groundwork and they can focus on strategy. Our emphasis here should be on providing the creativity, empathy, ethical judgment, inspiration, and leadership as humans, where AI can do the groundwork, a lot of the groundwork. So, should we all become managers and leaders? Yes, indeed. Managers of AI and leaders of humans. So, the future is now. Every semester, thousands of students arrive on campuses carrying dreams, aspirations, and challenges that will define their lives and careers. Many will succeed, but some may struggle academically. Brilliant minds could go unrecognized or simply do not reach their full potential. AI gives us unprecedented power to see and serve each student as an individual, providing personalized academic support and maximizes their learning. The AI revolution in higher education isn't coming, it's here. The question isn't whether it will transform your institution. It's whether you will lead that transformation or let it happen to you. The future is now. Let's embrace it and use AI to improve education. Thank you.